Well, good evening, everybody. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the Faulkner Performing Arts Center. So my name is Jake Hertzog, and I'm going to introduce the band here before we begin. On bass tonight, one of our newest faculty members, the incredible Garrett Jones. And on drums, our actual newest jazz faculty member, the incredible Chris Peters. So thank you all so much for coming. My name is Jake Hertzog, and I teach guitar here, and I direct the jazz program and our music industry programs. And tonight is sort of a very special project for me because this is a project called Ozarks Reimagined, and usually most of my career, I've spent playing original music of my own, and so I would get up and I would share music that I've written. And tonight, I didn't write anything, so I'm going to share with you music that I did not write, but I got a chance to rearrange. And there's some wonderful stories behind these songs. I'm going to share a few as we go. And I want to share with you something about the discovery of this music. And so when I first got here, when I first moved to Arkansas, my very first full day in Arkansas, there was this amazing event going on in the Fayetteville Town Square called the Fayetteville Roots Festival. And so I wandered into town, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You guys do this every week? This is cool. And so there were all these musicians playing, and I thought, well, I guess I'm moving to Arkansas, so I really should take some time to investigate the kinds of music that exists in Arkansas. And so that was the very beginning of this idea. And last year, I received a grant from the Artist 360 program through Mid-America Arts Alliance, and that grant allowed me to take this project to fruition. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is traditional Ozark folk music that I discovered either through publicly available collections like the reissuing of the Smithsonian collection of recordings from Max Hunter and other Ozark musicians. Most of those were made in the 1950s and 60s. And other collections that we have unique access to here at the University of Arkansas in our library. We have the Ozark Folk Song Collection, and much of that music was collected by folks like Mary Parler, again, in the 1950s and 60s. And it's exquisitely documented. There's thousands upon thousands of songs in this collection. And Max Hunter recorded almost 1,200 songs just himself. So there's an incredibly rich variety and volume of Ozark folk music out there that's publicly available. Anybody can find it, download it. And so I basically just sat there and clicked through and listened to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of old fiddle tunes and ballads and love songs and sad songs and happy songs and dance songs. And I found these 10 that I thought would make fun tunes to rearrange for jazz. So as we go along, I'll kind of share with you a little bit about what I did with each of them. And I might even feel brave enough to sing you a couple of the original versions. So if you'll permit me to play the part of the guitarist tonight, but who might be willing to sing a little bit. So we're going to start with one now called Dry and Dusty. And this is just a straight-up fiddle song, and I wanted to include on the project a piece of music that we just did almost as a metamorphosis to get you into the vibe of it. So now we're going to find out how many music students and musicians are in the audience, because I need you to clap for me. Are you ready for that? Can we do it? Can we do some great clapping? All right. These guys have to play, so they can't clap, so I'm counting on you to clap. All right, here we go. Now, here's the thing. If you rush, I'm in big trouble with the guitar part, so just keep it right here. right, are we feeling it yet? So, some of this music was divided into two categories. One category is music with vocals, and one category is music without vocals. So that was a song that was recorded without vocals, and really just exactly like that. And the rest of this music gets a little bit further from the source material. So the next song we're going to play is a pretty well-known song called Goodbye, My Honey, I'm Gone. And this song goes way back. And the recording that I initially discovered was one made by Max Hunter. But there's many other recordings of this same exact song in the University of Arkansas special collections and in other archives. And they all have different lyrics and slightly different variations of the melody and things like that. So before we play it, I want to share with you a little bit about how the original song goes. Once again, I'm a guitar player who occasionally sings. But the original song sort of goes like this. Oh, what you gonna do when the great day comes? Sounding of the horns and beating of the drums. No use in me grieving and gonna be leaving. Goodbye, my honey, I'm gone. And believe me, that's most of the melody. That's like most of it. So then what I decided to do was take a few tricks from the John Coltrane playbook and add some chords, add a solo section, and a drum solo, and this is what we came up with. So I hope you like it, and I hope you can follow the original melody. Thank you. Chris Peters on the drums, everybody. So this next song has a very simple title. It's called Spanish Song. And it's one of the few original recordings that I found that was really a guitar feature. And so I heard this and I thought, I have to do this song. And the song is very simple. It goes like this. It sort of evokes the idea of Spanish flamenco music or flamenco-originated music in the 19th century. It sort of goes like this. And accompanied by banjo and violin, and I'm not kidding when I say that is the entire song, just looped over and over again. So, in order to make this into a jazz arrangement, we stole a couple of fun tricks. So the first thing we did is we turned it into a melody groove that kind of goes like this. It's more of a North African, Middle Eastern type groove. Dun 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 ka dun 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 ka, and then. We kind of morphed this into the type of jazz that would be called modal jazz or even almost chromatic jazz. So you'll hear a lot of, in this arrangement, one note being the principal bass and sort of the bass riffs that are, again, in that kind of Middle Eastern and ballady Berber music quality. So the other thing we did to this was we turned it into minor, which of course you do when you're dealing with a jazz arrangement. So I hope you like it. This one is called Spanish Song, and this was based on the recording that was in the original Smithsonian Folkways collection, so we hope you like it. Thank you. Once again, Chris Peters here on the drums. So this next song tells the story of a young man who doesn't have any prospects. So he hops on a boat and goes all the way to Australia to mine for gold. And he tells his lady love that he's going away and he hopes to come back. But unlike many a ballad, in this song, our protagonist actually finds a lot of gold, comes back, and marries his love. So it's quite a happy song, especially for a song written in the 19th century. The name of this song is Sweet Lady Jane, and the popular recording that's easy to find is the one made by Max Hunter and then re-released many decades later by the Smithsonian collection. So I'm going to sing you one verse because that's most of it, and you'll get the idea so that when we play it, you'll recognize the melody. Oh, do not weep, sweet lovely Jane. Come dry your tearful eyes. I will return to you again, unless your true love dies. So it takes about 11 more verses to get through the whole story. So I'll save you those, but we're going to play our version of Sweet Lady Jane. Thank you, everyone. Give it up for Garrett Jones on the bowed bass solo there. So, some of the songs that are in these collections are very, very funny. And even with our 21st century frame of cultural references, they're pretty funny and universal to understand. And so the next song that I want to play for you is probably my favorite set of funny lyrics that I've ever come across. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I'm just going to say go and check out the actual original in our special collections. There is a Max Hunter version of this as well. And this is called "Oh Miss, I Have a Very Fine Farm." And the plot of this song, which is often done as a duet, is we presume, farmer trying to convince a woman to marry him, and she basically just says no. In lots of different ways, through many different verses. And many insults are exchanged by the end of the song. So I want to share with you a little bit of this original melody, just so that you can recognize it when we play our version. And it goes like this. Oh, miss, I have a very fine farm, just 60 acres square. And it will be at your command if you will only dwell there. If you will only dwell there. So that little melody that's the original written melody. So now we're going to play our version, where we've done all sorts of little things with chord changes and meter changes, and we hope you like it. This is "Oh Miss, I Have a Very Fine Farm." Isaac, could I get a little bit more bass in my monitor, please? Give it up for Isaac and the whole team at the Faulkner Performing Arts Center back there. Thank you. A very fine farm. So for, what did you say? It was definitely a happy ending. No, actually, I think in the original version, the lyrics do not necessarily imply a happy ending for either character, but maybe slightly better for her. We're going to play one now that I think is becoming my favorite of this collection. It's called Daisies in the Loft. And this one was a kind of a fiddle song with no lyrics. And the melody goes like this. It's quite a simple melody. And that's sort of the vibe of the original melody. And so what we did for this was kind of cross it with something that would really be more like a folk dance from a Latin American music style. This is called a chicarera. It's sort of a 6/8 kind of a beat. And we slowed down the melody and changed it from major into minor and back again to major. So I hope you like it. This is called Daisies in the Loft. And we based this off of the original recording performed by the violinists Stanley Patrick and Calvin Van Brunt in 1958 for the Smithsonian Folkways collection. So here's Daisies in the Loft. Thank you once again, Garrett Jones and Chris Peters. So we're going to do a song for you now called The Blue Ridge Mountains. And this is based on another Max Hunter recording from 1958. And what we chose to do with this is akin to the way that Miles Davis and Wayne Shorter created the song Nefertiti. So in that song, we play the melody over and over and over again, and there's not really a strong solo section versus composed section. It's just the melody over and over again with shades of color around it. So I want to share the melody with you a little bit so you hear it, and then we're going to play our version. So I'm just going to sing one little verse of a song with many, many, many verses. Where was I last winter, boys, when wind was cold and snow? Where was I last winter, boys, where wind blows frosty and cold? I was climbing the Blue Ridge Mountains, was hungry and I froze. God knows I've been all So the original is kind of like that, in kind of a strict 3/4, and he just sings whenever he wants to sing. And we did something a little different with it. Here it goes. The Blue Ridge Mountains. Thank you all so much for coming. We have a few more for you. How's everybody feeling? All right. So this one is another fiddle song. It was a fiddle song. It's called Darling Nellie Gray. And the original recording was collected by Mary Parler in 1954, performed by, at the time, what she thought was the greatest violinist in Arkansas, a man named Absy Morrison. So we've adapted this for you and taken some inspiration from the great funk group, The Meters. So we hope you like it. Darling Nellie Gray. thank you so much, everyone. So who's ready for another sad song about the seashore? So there's no seashores in Arkansas, but but this song I love because it speaks to some of the journey that this music has been on, from the British Isles to Appalachia region in the United States, and then into the Ozarks region. And this is one of those songs that I think has taken this kind of a journey. So this song is called Down by the Seashore. It's another ballad that Max Hunter collected in the early 1950s and recorded in 1958. And I'm gonna again play you just a tiny little bit of the original melody so that you can hear it. As I walked out one evening, all on the seashore, where the wind it did whistle and the waters did roar, I saw a fair maiden as I walked on my way, and I stopped there to listen to the words she did say. Cry on, my love's sure gone, he's the lad that I adore. He's gone where I never can see him anymore. So those are the two parts of the song. And to honor the fact that in his original recording, Max Hunter didn't have any concept of bar lines or meter or the number of beats in a measure, we've mixed it up a little bit ourselves. Well, thank you so much, everybody. How you doing? All right, we have one more for you. Once again, give it up for Garrett Jones on the bass, Chris Peters on the drums. My name is Jake Hertzog, and it's been really, really a pleasure and a treat to play this music for you. We're going to play these songs again over the summer at a show at the Fayetteville Public Library, and all three of us are pretty active in the regional music scene, so please come and check us out at any one of our shows. And please check the music.uark.edu webpage for all sorts of hundreds and hundreds of free concerts that we do every year, all sorts of genres, classical, jazz, contemporary music, and so on. So it's a really great way to see concerts all right here at the Faulkner Performing Arts Center. Thank you so much for listening to our Ozarks Reimagined project. It's really, again, it's such a treat to play these songs for you. We recorded all of these earlier last year, and the record will be out at some point in the next year, so we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Thank you. Quick commercial. I have another new album coming out March 21st, which is my concerto for big band and strings and guitar called the Ozark Concerto. And that'll be on the Zoho record label out of New York, so we hope you check that out. And for more information on me, you can visit my website, www.jakehertzog.com. So there's all my commercials for the evening. We're going to close with one more for you. This is another fiddle tune, which we decided to turn into kind of a fast bebop influence tune. This is called Down Yonder. Ready, band? Chris Peters on the drums, everybody. And Garrett Jones on the bass. My name is Jake Hertzog. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thanks so much, everybody.